Welcome back for a Divine Masculine update. Now, yes, as we do move into eclipse season, things are looking pretty juicy. And already their reading this week in the mix is looking very transformative. Now, yes, you can get these ahead of the crowd. If you do want to join our members, you can come through. We also have our super chats that are hosted within the membership, and we will have the joint connection up very soon. So yes, we cover the masculine, feminine, and karmic weekly, as well as the joint connection. So let's take a look at the masculines read and what I see coming through for them. The first thing I was getting, especially from a point of view, is I do really feel that these individuals are really planning for the future. And this more than likely can come through because of the signature of astrology. Now, we have the plane on the card. The card directly states, a journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life is becoming more full. And I feel as though, especially with the star on the card, they're really planning for the future. They're really looking towards their big goals. And whatever this is, this can be a feeling directly that they're getting. I also feel this is a time in which they're really planning for the future. And it can be sudden changes. This spiritually also can come through where they're feeling it in their aura. And it's this sixth sense where they feel something big is coming and it's a huge shift. So could they be experiencing some anxiety moving towards this point in the month? Yes, I do feel so, especially channeling this energy. I also feel, it's either going to be that they are experiencing it like a psychic download, they're picking up on things, or B, they're directly planning. 9 times out of 10, we get signs from universe. So we get the near miss, we get the intuitive energy, and but generally speaking, it will be a thought process, a feeling, an intuitive situation. Gee, really got to do that, really need to deal with this. And then we'll get the near miss. And then if we don't own our power and directly do something, more than likely it can come about in a tower. And I'm noticing for these individuals, this can feel like a spiritual test. It is that the transformation is happening in their life. It just depends on how each individual will deal with this situation. Now, initially, we can feel it's conflict. We can feel very stuck. We can feel as though we want to keep everything the same. But the intellect is really showing that there is a need and a desire to change, and also a requirement to do such. So I'm predicting for some, yes, there can be some tower moments, especially if they're in denial about circumstances. And if universe is giving them a tower, I think it's divinely guided. I think it's to the point where it is going to take them to their destiny, and it is going to kind of release them from a karmic cycle. Metaphorically, it is a South Node eclipse. Others, it is that they're really intuitively looking at their destiny, accepting the things that their intuition has shown them over the last 6 to 12 months, and they're moving towards such. Now, as we do look at the overall cards, I'm looking at the past position now. In the past position, we have a soulmate energy. So for some, I do feel some potentially were confusing a deep romantic connection with what could I say? Something that felt simplistic, something that felt that resonated with them. So there could have been a confusion between the weight of the connection between divine feminine and divine masculine. This also could have been a karmic cycle or a relationship in which they were unable to grow. There was unfinished business, and to them, it felt like a kindred soul. It felt like somebody that understood them at the point they were in their ascension process. That not necessarily has to be a healthy or a negative thing. It was just where they were at that point in time, but it is in the past position. So this can be actually getting to a place where they're accepting the fact that maybe a separation is required. This also can be thoughts to do with the past of previous relationships and where they stand in the mix now in their life. And ironically enough, in the heart of the issue, they're very accepting of this. They're very accepting of the fact that I can't say no regrets, because we've got sadness in reverse here. It's acceptance. And I feel there's a great deal of acceptance in the heart. It served a purpose, this situation. It gave these individuals closure. And again, we do have shine bright like a diamond. Candle, rather. You will make it through this. It's, this individual, it's funny, it almost reminds me of Van Gogh with the painting. I'm looking at this individual, they're wanting to paint their future. There can be some choppy waters. There can be some feelings that they're moving towards. They can be starting to get into a vibration to show more emotion and heart. Like I said, in the heart of things, they have gone through a lot of changes. It is a 5. Whenever we get the 555s, it does signify quite large changes. As we're moving forward, I see that this individual, it's not so much that they're cold as ice or that they have no feeling. I would say they do have closure with the circumstance. They have no regrets of meeting you. There also can be a lot of logic to do with lessons that they learned, so they're accepting of that, even if they were trials and tribulations through those circumstances. But they do want to place themselves in life in a better position. They do want to come off they want to show up for divine feminine, shiny and new. This is with a positive outlook, with a direct plan, with some foresight for the future. And I definitely can see foresight coming through here. So these are plans. These aren't just fleeting moments of coming in and going out. These are real direct responses to, okay, so I'll give you an example. Turning up at Divine Feminine's store and saying, look, let's bygones be bygones, let's move forward. For a lot of individuals, that simply won't work. There may be questions, there may be some changes in attitudes that will be required. There might need to be some more openness. And I feel these individuals in the mix this week are showing that they're aware of that. So their intentions are pure. Their intentions are coming through where they're really wanting to paint a picture of what they feel that this future with you can be and what their future can be. But they're being quite honest with themselves. Now, at a foundation level, we have these individuals realizing what can be recovered and what can't be. And I do feel maybe they had been in hermit mode for a bit. They'd maybe been not facing their shadow, facing their future. And now in the mix, it's like they can be coming out of that. I also see for a lot of them, their intuition is quite heightened. They're very susceptible to energy. They also can be kept up at night. So for some of you, yes, this communication is coming through in the daytime. For some of you, this individual can be thinking and up at night and having a lot of trouble sleeping. But I'm not getting this as a negative thing. I feel that the overactive mind at this point is because they're really taking those steps in a very action-packed month, so to speak. Yeah, they're definitely getting the signs and synchronicities. This can be seeing your name. This can be hearing songs. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. Yeah, again, I just get that they are feeling a great deal of clarity and peace with what they've been through, with accepting the fact that certain doors did need to close in order for them to persevere forward. And I think anything that was really spiritually blocking them, not that maybe initially they knew they needed a little bit of time, but they're definitely realizing in hindsight 360 that, yes, in fact, that was required. I want to pull a clarifier here. Let's have a look at this. They're making reference to the point that divine feminine and individuals around them are going to be quite surprised. This also can be individuals that are really wanting to change their image and their look. It can be joining the gym. It's almost like I'm getting the term the Empress new clothes. They're even surprising themselves. Yeah, look, we've got positivity surrounding this situation. We have enemy in reverse. So this is a person who's been quite transparent. This is a turn of events here. There is unfinished business. They're feeling really directly towards divine feminine. There's unfinished business. For some, they're also making reference to the fact that some of them may have seen you online. Some of them might have seen an image of you. They may have passed you. If they're meeting with you, they're also referencing they feel you look very different. This is in a very positive way. It's not a negative way. They're also remembering back to a previous conversation and some, I can't say expectations, some benchmark needs. And they're taking that on board. They're taking that into account. Okay, what am I seeing here? What do we need to know about this soulmate energy of the past? Okay, we're going to read two dynamics, because the first message I got was a karmic-based soulmate. It was there for a situation as they were growing. And there's also the polarity of misinterpreting and, kind of tagging the twin flame path as a soulmate energy. Okay. Yeah, so from the karmic point of view, there was, like I said before, that they really realised that where they were at a point in their life, how do I explain it? It's like when you can't grow any further, when it just becomes so overwhelming, it seemed simple at the time. And this prevented them from ascending further. Their values, however, are not in alignment. So for some, yes, it's a past tense energy. For others, this can be an individual that is really about to go by the wayside. They're also referencing there could have been a betrayal within the connection, or the betrayal is that they knew that this would not be a permanent thing. Okay, in the context of misinterpreting divine feminine for a soulmate, which is still a compliment. Yeah, they're not saying anything, but they're realizing the value of you is larger than that. Yeah, there's regret here. Okay, what do we need to know about the heart of the situation? Because they've overcome a sadness. There was a lot of changes. They also feel a lot of changes are required to come towards you. These are big changes. Yeah, there's regret. And now because, how do I explain it? Now, because they're aware of what this is and the weight of it, they're actually making plans. They're trying not to get in their heads too much. They do know that changes need to happen. They're worried that potentially you're completely over it. So what they're trying to do is get themselves in the best possible position, and also in the best possible light for this communication to come in. Yeah, they're not wanting to come to you without answers. They're not wanting to come to you without integrity. Gosh, they really think you are the diamond. I just keep hearing lost without you. Lost without you. This person at times when they do get up in their head, especially towards you, divine feminine, there's a lot of panic attacks. It's almost like, please don't go. Please don't walk away from me. Please forgive me. Yeah, they also know the longer this goes on, the more worried they become. So it's quite urgent. They feel this urgency. Some of them could have some information coming through the grapevine through a family member or a friend. I'm seeing 3 individuals here. I feel this is to do with divine feminine. It's almost like got the spies out. Again, I saw social media, but I feel it's these three individuals. Okay, whoever these energies were in their life that were causing grief, they do know that they did have a part in this, and this was their power, their energy, giving permission to things being, almost like being their own worst enemy. But they feel now, if they continue on that path, because of their personal awareness, it's almost like they realize now they're giving their power away. Oh, heck. Okay, some actually may see that you're active online and they may wish to speak to you. If they're not communicating, it's almost like they're saying, I better come correct. Is it appropriate for me to be contacting at this hour? They do know that divine feminine is waiting for communication. Okay, for some of you, they're showing me an important date. This could be a birthday. This could be a public holiday of some description or an anniversary. But they're showing me that they're wanting to come towards you. They're showing me this time frame as a possibility. Some are transitioning jobs. This person's planning. They're definitely planning here in the mix. This is a big plan to come towards you. They feel there's too much room between the space of the both of you. For some of them, they also could be moving home. What they are wanting to do is really get themselves to a space that they are the best possible option. They're praying that you will be open to this connection. They're apprehensive. They're planning. They're definitely very sure about how they feel. For some, they also feel that it is time to really move away from karmic individuals. Some of you may get this information through the grapevine. You could actually have quite a shock. You may have thought this day would never come. And again, I'm getting that this could be a telephone call, text message, but it's some information. I'm hearing divine feminine. This information is going to be music to your ears. I'm also hearing the term justice. I'm also seeing that you want to see the evidence of this change and then you'll be open to it. But there's the poker face energy coming through. It's almost like you're not going to give your power away. You're not showing this individual. Some may be asking you to go to a destination with them. Some also may need to travel for a direct reason. But I also see a location. For some of you, this is a location you've actually had a holiday at. And this is a plan that they have to be with you, to connect with you. But this individual is moving towards you in a very, very big, bold way. We will check in with this energy next week. If you do want these pre-release, feel free to come through and join a YouTube membership. As I mentioned, we do have the super chats. And yes, we will cover the joint connection. So let's see in the mix where that energy is at. And it's usually hosted on a Sunday. Take care, and I'll see you soon.